Ow! I think the coyote's chords are a little rusty. Ow! Well, I'll have to work on that. The old dog needs to go hunt. All right. Let's crank up a new week with a full moon. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks for stopping by. We've got a lot to talk about because this full moon is loaded up. Thanks, too, for those of you who have stopped by the funastrology.com new website, redesigned and much more efficient, and all of the products are over there. So a lot of you stopped by over the weekend. Thank you so much for keeping old Uncle Thomas gainfully unemployed. I appreciate it. And I am so excited about that website because good things are coming for all of us. So the reports that are up there, I did a little feature yesterday talking about them, and then I added two others. There's a transit report and a compatibility report. If you're in a relationship and would like to know how at least one interpretation of the alignments of that relationship might be, or you're exploring one, that compatibility report is for you. I'm going to be adding a lot of stuff there, so make funastrology.com just a part of your web browsing on a regular basis, and I'll be announcing the new freebies in there as they appear. All right, now let's talk about today. We got to put our roller skates on. So first of all, tonight, the full moon at 11:32 Eastern p.m. time, right before midnight, basically is what that is. 30 minutes before midnight in the East Coast. There is a void, of course, on that when the moon moves into Scorpio, and that void, of course, begins at 8:03 p.m. Eastern time. So you can back your own time zones up from that. Now, the moon will be in Scorpio. The sun will be in Taurus. They are opposite each other, of course. And all the action in the world right now has moved from Aries to Taurus. So what do we have? Let's do the alignment right at the full moon point tonight. That will be the sun at 7 degrees Taurus. Uranus, watch yourself, watch out. Uranus is at 10 degrees, 3 degrees over. Then Venus is at 15 degrees, and Mercury is at 16. And that's all at 11:32 tonight. I'm looking at the chart in that perspective. Now, when the full moon happens, it happens in the whole sign chart with the sun in the 6th house and the moon in the 12th. Keep that in mind. The moon in Scorpio in the 12th is very much an indication of completions. You have to look that there is some massively significant energy around completing things, or at least shaking things up toward their completion. The 6th house, the house of mentorship, the house traditionally we would call jobs, our job, what we do Monday through Friday, also of health, but primarily the house of how we serve others. And that can be through work, or it can be mentoring, or it can be just taking really good care of our bodies, this physical thing that we came here to do this incarnation in, and how we can be of service to others, ruled the 6th house by Virgo, which brings Mercury into the picture, and Mercury is right there in Taurus right now. So we have a whole podcast we could do just on the moon in Scorpio, because that brings up the depth. It also brings up the angst, probing intuition, deep diving, not leaving any cards on the table, but very significant that it is pointing straight across the chart. How many times do we talk about opposites here? A lot, right? Opposite the sun, it always is on a full moon. But sitting right next door is Uranus. Shake it up, Uranus. And remember, we have this macro theme of 2021 that whenever we're talking about anything, Taurus or Aquarius, we have to acknowledge the Saturn square to all of this. Saturn is sitting almost plunk middle, not quite, 12 degrees out of 30, so 3 degrees off center in the middle of Aquarius. So it's catching all of this, and it's in a square. So this is really kind of an ominous position for all of this to be happening, because we're only a few degrees off from Saturn squaring the moon. So it puts Saturn in the bending position, which means that Saturn is overlording this full moon. And boy, does he have a lot to work with, because, like I mentioned, Uranus, you never can tell with Uranus. And then Venus is at home, sitting right on top of Uranus. That's actually expansive. That aspect happened on Thursday. The market was up to new highs on Friday. There you go. There it is right there. That's how this stuff plays out. And today we have Venus and Mercury conjuncting. Actually, the exact conjunction was yesterday. But think about that. Mercury, communication, Venus, balance, or thrown into a challenge, indecision. What about your love life? Venus in that Uranus conjunction. Has something happened to trigger something unusual in your relationship or in your love life? Did you try to talk about it over the weekend, and how did that communication work out? Because with Mercury, it could either be phenomenal and you could communicate yourself right out of a potato sack, or if Saturn is sitting over there with his club on his shoulder saying, you still don't get it, I'm trying to teach you a karmic lesson, but you're too thick-headed to let it get through, and I've even sent you the perfect relationship to do it in, but no. So bam, here comes Saturn with his club. And I'm not talking judgmentally there, I'm talking from years and decades of personal experience of having been that person. The universe was saying, please, would you wake up? A lot of times I think it still is. So that's the dynamic of what we have going on. And you can see why I was saying there is so much there to unpack. And we are probably going to have to leave some of the scraps on the table because there is just a lot there. And I want to keep this within our normal time frame. Wow, what a day. All right, go out and enjoy it, and we'll see you back tomorrow and see what happens today. It's going to be very interesting. Have a good one. Enjoy the full moon. Be sure to do your releasing ceremony sometime today. Perfect energy. Perfect energy. Release, release, release.